Seven Senses. 3. Civilizational Theories, Episode 3. Why Love Hurts. When love and anxiety feel the same. Seven Senses is a way of seeing that turns different truths from conflict into understanding. In relationships, it is a perspective that sees emotional space and anxiety, not as conflict, but as something to be understood. Introduction. You love them, yet it hurts. No reply. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts start racing. You feel restless. Before you notice, you're checking your phone again, and somehow, your entire mood is decided by one person's reaction. You move closer because you love them. You move closer because you're anxious. You want reassurance. You want certainty. But somehow, the closer you get, the more painful it becomes. If you keep getting hurt for the same reason, again and again, perhaps the issue isn't the person. Maybe it's how we have shaped the space between us. Maybe the pain was never just love. Maybe anxiety was woven into it too. This is a story that may slightly change how you see relationships. Previously, last time, we explored why relationships break. We thought getting closer would make us feel safe. But the closer we became, the more painful it felt. Perhaps it wasn't about compatibility. Perhaps anxiety itself was growing along with closeness. And from here, our view of love begins to shift. This is the Seven Senses perspective. Why some relationships break and others don't. Relationships do not break because love is weak. What matters is how we hold space for each other. And behind that space, there is anxiety. Maybe we aren't suffering because of the person we love. Maybe we're suffering because of how we have shaped the space between us. When people suffer, they often try to change the other person. I want to see them more. I want them to understand me. I want reassurance. But what if the issue isn't the person, but the way closeness itself has been handled? Seven Senses is not a theory for changing others. It is a way of changing how we see relationships. What Seven Senses practice means. Seven Senses changes relationships from love that fills emptiness to love that grows together. From relationships that collapse without the other person to relationships that can grow without becoming painful. From constantly seeking reassurance to learning to stabilize yourself while growing together. And when this changes, you stop being controlled by every reaction. Change from love that rushes closer to love that can last. Before anxiety, move closer. Feel relief, want more. Dependence, after anxiety, stabilize yourself. Move closer. Feel safe, grow together. Before, every time anxiety appeared, you felt, I need to get closer before I lose them. I wanted to see them now. I wanted certainty now. I wanted reassurance now. But speed and safety were never the same thing. Even a delayed message felt painful. But gradually, you begin thinking, maybe they're just busy today. Slowly, you realize nothing happened. Only anxiety was running ahead. Anxiety doesn't disappear, but it stops swallowing you whole. And when you become stable first, the relationship itself begins to change. How Seven Senses works. Survival anxiety. First, we deal with anxiety itself. Anxiety isn't just emotional. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts race. You keep checking your phone before you notice. It spreads through your whole life. The goal isn't to erase anxiety. The goal is to stop collapsing because of it. Order boundaries. Next comes boundaries. Slow replies. Days apart. Moments of needing space. Before, that alone felt painful. But sometimes, distance itself creates safety. Boundaries are not coldness. Sometimes, they are the space where love learns to breathe. Belonging, connection, being together, and being unable to be okay apart. They look similar, but they are different. Wanting love and wanting anxiety to disappear sometimes feel almost identical. The more anxiety grows, the more people try to fill space with affection. Yet sometimes, the more you give, the heavier things become. Self When love becomes painful, your world slowly begins revolving around them. Their schedule becomes your schedule. Their smile becomes your relief. Their coldness becomes your pain. And gradually, little by little, you begin losing sight of yourself. Loving someone and losing yourself are not the same thing. Love should not require the disappearance of who you are. Ideal. Relationships also carry ideals. If they love me, they should do this. If we're together, they should understand. But the stronger those ideals become, the more reality hurts. Structure. Finally, we begin seeing things not only as feelings, but as structure. I don't know why this hurts so much, but once structure becomes visible, pain slowly becomes something you can work with instead of something that controls you. Integration alignment. Finally comes alignment. Everyone feels safe at different distances. Some people feel safe close, others need space. Different does not mean wrong. 7 senses sees differences, not as good or bad, but as something to be understood and aligned. The goal is not becoming the same. The goal is discovering a rhythm that fits both people. The greatest change. Before, being alone felt frightening, so I moved closer. I kept giving. I kept seeking reassurance. Love became a place where I looked for safety. But now, I no longer fall apart on my own. So now, I choose to stay. From love that protects against fear to love that grows together. And slowly, the meaning of love itself begins to change. Conclusion. If loving someone hurts, it does not mean your love is weak. Moving closer is natural, but closeness alone doesn't always create safety. Maybe the answer was never only about love. Maybe it was about how we handled space. At its core, 7 senses is about turning conflict into alignment. Perhaps love was never about becoming closer forever. Perhaps it was about discovering a rhythm where two people can breathe while still remaining themselves.
Because